I definitely don't have him as offensive tackle one, Jake. But man, he had a hell of a year this year. There's no denying that. So if I had to guess, I'd say he's probably going to be lower first round for me. It's early though. It's really, really early. We may have some of the people I respect and trust come out and say same thing Jake's saying, and hey, he's number one tackle.
Road grade though, he's got an 88 run blocking grade, 85.4 pass block, and a 79.9 true pass set. So
what happened in 2023, Emilio? Can you key in on it? Does it show you any? It probably doesn't.
Let's see. He gave up 2 sacks and 12 hurries in 2023.
Does it show his pass blocking, run blocking grade, anything like that?
Not per grade for the year, but his snaps, he split them right down the middle, 430.
Yeah. He like I said, he definitely took a step forward this year. It's just I get a little bit nervous about players that take that huge jump. You know, it's like, okay, is that the player he's going to be? And listen, we know none of these players, it's a given that they're going to play like this at the NFL level. It's a whole different ball game. So
his 4 best games were Mississippi State, South Carolina, UMass, and UB. So hit or miss there.
Yeah, you're right. Did they play any big time programs like Bama? Anybody like that?
They played Texas A&M. He was a 66-1. They played Bama. He was a 67-7. Razorbacks. He was a 67-8. He had an 80 against Oklahoma and a 73-6 against Auburn.
Gotcha. So the two toughest opponents he graded out in the 60s, right?
Yeah.
So, and listen, it's not like a 30 grade. So
right.
You know.
Yeah. Basically averages out to like
65%.
65%. That's what Donovan Schilling said. He's ready to fight in here. He said Glover looked really bad. All caps, Amelia. You got anything to add to that, sir?
No, I'll wait.
All right.
I'll wait for his off-season workout video to hit, and then we'll send it out.
Jake Shavik says for Mimbo, not Travis Glover, Emilio, pass blocking grade was 75.9, run blocking grade was 64.4 in 2023. So, again, obviously way better at pass blocking than run blocking. Good stuff. I appreciate that information. All right, moving it along. Number 25, Josh Connerly Jr. out of Oregon, 6'4", 314. He's 21 years old. Steady increase here. Minimal snaps in 22 with only 118, a 64.7 grade. Then he jumps to 68.8, then 78.0. So you've seen a little bit of a steady increase there, but minimal snaps there. Kind of the same thing applies with Mimbo. It's like, you know, which one are you getting? And he definitely didn't have a dominant year like Mimbo did. So
right. Strictly left tackle, run block rate of a 72.5, pass of a 83.3, and a true pass set of a 78.
Got it. Next, you got Wyatt Malum, if I'm saying it correctly. This dude, listen, West Virginia, I don't know who all they played. He's 6'6", 317.
Thick.
PFF grades. And listen, guys, he played 700 snaps in all 3 years that we're going to list it here. And you know, in 2022, he played 851 snaps, but grades 74.8, 80.1, 91.1. Like that's an example of a player that I would feel on the surface more comfortable than like the Mimbo top, right? Because it's like you're seeing more consistency, in my opinion. But again, it comes down to the people they play. What do you got there, Emilio?
This dude can block. Let me tell you, left tackle all day long. Run block rate of an 89.7, pass block rate of a 92.6, true pass set of a 91.9. His zone blocking is a 90. Thank you. Yeah, his zone blocking is a 90.3, and his gap grade of a 78.9. I mean, this dude's all.
Where's his snaps at?
All left tackle. Sorry.
All left tackle. Okay, that's interesting.
That's interesting.
When Tim makes that move to put Elton at center, you just pop him in left guard. You know what I mean? So there you go. All right, so that's a player I've definitely got earmarked. I've got a few of these. I'll list off my favorites when we get through this list. You've got Gray Zabel out of North Dakota State University, 22 years old, 6'6", 305. Steady increase, guys, 68.7, 79.6, 90.4. Now, North Dakota State University, who did they play, right? Same thing they said about Tucker Kraft, right? So what do you got there, Emilio?
He played actually 2022, 152 at left guard and 378 at right tackle. 23, he played 686 at right tackle and 211 at left guard. And then in 2024, he strictly played 961 left tackle.
So he's played everything but center.
And he played 14 snaps at center in 2022.
Let me put a little V next to him.
He's played, and honestly, in 2022, he played every position except right guard. And then in 23, he played 3 snaps at right guard. So this dude has had a snap in a game at every position. This year, 86.5 run blocking grade, 92.9 pass blocking grade with a 88.2 true pass set. His 3 best games were, I don't know what that one is, Townsend and the Colorado. Townsend was a 90.2. Colorado was an 89.9.
There you go. And this is what we were talking about, like what Jake says, Zabel is the guy for Green Bay, has played everywhere. That versatility, I try to put V's next to those prospects because we know Green Bay loves that. Tim, this is what we were talking about. There's not any centers in the top 100 draft picks according to PFF's big board. But if you take someone like this and you can play him on the interior, like an example here, what if you took Zabel, put him at left guard, kick out in the center? Or, I'm hearing like Matt Schneidman say Sean Ryan will probably be the center. So that's the case. Throw somebody like this in at right guard to compete with Jordan Morgan. One thing it will fix is you no longer have that lack of depth, right, Tim, like we've seen there in the Philly game. So
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And I kind of lean toward, not just because of the fact that I want Elton to stay at left guard, but I do like the thought of Sean Ryan maybe taking some reps at center in camp and seeing how it looks going forward. Because I don't know, old Nacho Libre's got that he's got that attitude you want for a center. I feel like he would he'd keep the piss hot in that huddle and get the boys blocking downhill and stuff like that. So but versatility is key. You need more than just swing tackles. We need guys that can play inside as well. And looking at Sheed and Zach Tom there on the on the outside, I feel really good about that as a base, but it's the interior of that O-line that we really got to shore up. And like you said, there's not really too many true centers in the draft or free agency right now worth really, making a move on. So
that's it. Yeah. How many times have we taken a tackle and moved him to guard?
That's what I'm saying. This screams Green Bay right here.
Did with Jordan Morgan last year. He just got hurt.
Yep. Donovan Schilling said 71 people watching, 26 likes, 44 AFAMs in here with the eyeball emoji. If you guys would take a quick second, hit that like button for us. It helps more than you know. It's
44 AFAMs. Woo.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that is terrible.
Hit subs, share it.
It's amazing, too. When you guys hit the like, you can see the viewership just go up. It's like it gets blasted out somehow in the algorithm. So we greatly appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for making us a part of your evening. Donovan Schilling, Kraft is North Dakota State, too, right? I thought he was, right?
Yes.
I get him confused because there is a South Dakota State, too, right? Am I thinking right? Or
No, I'm sorry. He is a South Dakota State. He's a Jackrabbit, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Scoot is the bison.
Right.
There you go. That was it. So, hey, we're all over Dakota. That's for sure, right, man?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, there you go. All right. Next one, Cameron Williams from Texas, 21 years old, 6'5", 335. Boy, he got some meat on the bone. PFF grades, not so much. Only played 23 snaps in 22. Only played 126 in 2023. In 2024, he played 975 snaps. He was a 67.4. Is he truly a left tackle here or a right tackle?
He is truly a right tackle. Run block grade of a 70.8, pass block grade of a 72.6, and a true pass set of a 55.7.
That's terrible, Chuck.
Me no likey that, Jan.
Exactly right. All right, you're going to like this one, though. Ozzy Trapillo, 6'8", 309 pounds. PFF grades, 61.8, 74.9, 76.7.
Thick.
Yes, he is. Where are we at on that one there?
Looks like a Packer lineman. He played left tackle in 22 and then right tackle the past 2 years. Run block rate of a 69.9, pass block grade of an 80.5, and a true pass set of a 78.2.
And we have no idea how old he is. How old is the guy?
They're still looking for the birth certificate. That birth certificate.
We got a red shirt senior. I have a class of a red shirt senior. Yeah,
that ain't good, bub. At
6'8". You can't move him inside. I mean, can you move him inside at 6'8"? Dude's just his head's going to be across the ball before Josh can even snap it.
He'll fit right in with this damn bunch. You kidding me? Go ahead.
You guys remember Caleb Jones, right?
Yes.
We couldn't move him to the inside either because Jordan couldn't throw. He had no throwing lanes.
Can't see.
I wanted to like Caleb Jones, but every time I seen him in shorts, I look at those knees and I'm like, they ain't gonna hold up. Like it literally looked like I told y'all about the Jay-Z picture, right? Where he had shorts on and it said somebody said it. Jay-Z's legs look like someone hit him with holy water and said, "Stand up, son." It really did, man. It's rough. So I always worried about Caleb's legs, man. They're tough look. Anyway, you want to try to pronounce this one, Emilio? Is it? Let's let Tim. I was going to let Tim take a shot. Tim, he stole your juice there, man. Ariante, right? That's what I've got to.
Who?
Until I get corrected. Watch Tim hammers me with the right way to say it.
Right, yeah. Well, actually, there should be a squiggly line above the I.
Tim, you got the last name.
Ursary is how I would say it, right?
Ursary.
Okay.
Ursary. There you go. Look at us, boys. 6'6", 330 pounds. No birth certificate on him either. 61.6, 84, and then a 77.6. That's pretty solid there. Really solid grades there for Ursary.
Strictly left tackle, run block of a 75.2, pass block of a 77.5, true pass of a 63.6, and his only good game was his only couple good games were Maryland, UCLA, USC, and Iowa, but struggled against Wisconsin, Penn State, Rutgers, Illinois. So, I mean, it's not ideal, but you're playing in Minnesota, going up against the big league competition.
Yeah, definitely. Joe in the chat, Ariana, is he a Taco Bell Grande? I see what you did there, sir. I see what you did there. That Nacho Bell Grande was a fire back in the day, boys.
Oh, you know what else is fire?
What?
Bam.
Right there.
Get the 12-pack when you
go to your local Taco Bell tonight. Get the Cinnabon. Put that back up there, Emilio. What are you doing? Go get you a Cinnabon Delights 2-pack from Taco Bell. Tell them that PTA sent you.
And
if you order it on DoorDash, put in the promo code PTA. That'll get you $0 off. Go ahead, Emilio.
Wash your hands, wash your butt, man. That's it. That's all.
We need a poll tomorrow morning on how delicious they are on Good Morning Lambeau, just because I need to know where the crowd stands.
All right.
You're an amazing person. You know that, don't you?
Yes, we do. All right, there you go. Jonah, how do you say that one? Tim, you take this one.
No, I'm not.
Tim said, "I'm not going to be labeled race."
And I don't want another tackle from Arizona. So next.
He said, "I've got PTSD from tackles in Arizona." Oh man, Jonah Savananea.
Ooh, nice.
Savanaya. Did I get it? Yeah, Savanaya.
Yeah, Savan. Yeah.
I'm too drunk to taste that. Anyway.
Save your draft pick. Yeah.
Jonah over here, 6'5", 336, 63.3, 69.1, 75.1. Any versatility there, Emilio, at 6'5"?
Right guard, all of 2022, 200 snaps and 200 at right guard and 700 at right tackle in 23. And then this past year, he's literally basically split even at right tackle, left tackle, about 350 apiece.
Pretty versatile, huh?
And then he can't really run block, 64.2, pass block, 83.7, true pass set, 77.8.
Got it.
Best game of the year was against TCU, their very last game, 81.9.
There you go.
Yeah, I think I'm on it with Tim there. That was a good call, Tim. We're going to pass on another Arizona tackle and keep looking.
All right. Yeah. Respect Orange says, forget the tackle talk. The quesadillas are pretty damn good over there at Taco Bell. They are. If they throw some meat in there, man, sometimes all you get that sauce. You know what I mean? Tortilla and sauce. I'm mad.
And then the cuts never square. I mean, one of the triangles is like an inch wide, and then the other one's like 7 inches long.
Somebody in there on their phone playing Angry Birds trying to cut that thing with one hand. I know what's going on. This ain't my first rodeo. You kidding me? Marcus Imbo, right? Mabo. How would you say it, Jake? Help us out with the pronunciation in the chat, sir. MBOW. He's 6'5", 300 pounds. Listen, man, yeah, it's a pretty steady grade, right? 71, 70, and 73. I mean, been really, really consistent. Any versatility there?
Right guard his first year in 22, 647, 23 and 24, strictly right tackle. Run block rate of a 77.2, pass block 71.7, true pass at 66.2 though.
Got it. All right. Next, you got Charles Grant out of William and Mary. Listen, they're playing, Podunk University, obviously, on their schedule, I'm sure. But 6'4", 300 pounds, his PFF grade 78, 76, and 90.1. He was the 8th highest graded tackle in college football last year. What kind of opponents are we talking? I don't know much about William and Mary at all.
Looks like Fordham, maybe Fordham, Townsend, Hampton, what's the Spider team? Liberty, I think so. And East Carolina University, Then his grades: strictly left tackle, 89.9 run blocking, 87.3 pass blocking, and a 76.7 true pass set.
You expect a player, of that caliber to dominate at that level, right? So he did what he was supposed to do. It's just you got that in the back of your mind. All right, what was the competition?
And some of his lowest grades were 53.7, 56.8, 62.3. His highest were 93.5, 94.3. So, I mean, he's a up-down kind of guy. He's only given up 3 sacks in the past 3 years.
Got it. All right, there you go. I've got him earmarked here, man. 90.1. You can't shy away from that. And the fact that he graded out in the 70s the other 2 years is really impressive. I mean, 800 snaps in 2022. So gonna be really interesting for sure, man. Jake Shavink says, I do think Green Bay plays very close attention to Zabel and Imbo. So again, that versatility, man. Donovan Jackson at 91, the last one we'll hit on here. 6'4", 320 pounds, 22 years old, out of Ohio State. PFF grade starting in 22, 76.7, 69.9, and a 70.9. So obviously he declined a little bit from 2022, but also staying right there in that 70 range. Pretty solid. What do you got on him?
Here's a guy.
Thank you, Tim. That can play left tackle in the 2022 and 2023, 800 snaps apiece. This past year, left guard for 286, left tackle for 465. He's opposite of that other tackle we already went over. And run blocking grade 69.7, pass blocking grade 68.7, true pass set 46 flat.
6'4", 320.
Thick.
Best game was against Marshall. First game of the season was a 91-8. Worst game, Penn State, 39-4.
There you go. Good stuff. So there's the top 100, the tackles that are in the top 100 of prospects according to PFF. Tim, we walked through this information for a reason, right? We're trying to get an idea of, all right, where's the depth at in the draft? Obviously, we talked about centers really thin on the top side. Guard, we had 3 in the top 100. And here with tackles, though, man, we've got well over, I think we've got somewhere around 13. So kind of feels like Green Bay's got a good shot at taking the tackle and trying to play them inside,
Yep, especially outside of the earlier rounds too. Yes. We don't have to reach for a tackle.
Right.
Might get one in one of those mid rounds.
Because I'm excited to kind of dive into some of those mid rounds where we've hammered on, where we got Zach Tom, where we got some of those wins. I know, Clay, weren't you on Lunt there and some of the other ones? So I'm really excited to be able to dive into some of them and just sort of that later round tape where you get maybe a better shot at trying to pull your guy just because there's a wider pool. You're not everybody's jumping on the top 25 consensus type stuff. Yeah.
Chase Lunt, strictly a right tackle, obviously out of Connecticut, but man, 58'4", 78'3", 87.40, 6'8", 305. Like I said, man, if you hit on a late round guy and you look up and go, you know what? Let's just start him at right tackle. Tom can play everywhere. So put Tom in another spot. I mean, it's possible. I don't want to move Tom. Please don't take me the wrong way. I'm saying if you hit on another Zach Tom in the 4th, 5th, or 6th round and you can't afford to sit him, you would much rather move Tom somewhere knowing he can handle it as opposed to, completely screwing up a rookie, trying to put them in a place where they can't play comfortably, So something that comes to mind. So that's another player there. Let's just slide down here a little bit. There's pretty consistent from Jack Nelson out of Wisconsin. I know our Badger fans are going to get excited about that. 73, 70, and a 79. Pretty consistent across the board, 6'7", 316.
Thick.
This one's interesting too. Johnny Cornelius, I think I'm saying that right. 2022, a 90.1, right? So that would have been his sophomore year. Then he fell to a 77.9, then he fell to a 73.8. So he's technically declined according to PFF. But that 90.1 as a freaking sophomore, right? Or would that, been a sophomore year? That's really impressive, especially at Oregon. If he played, was he at Oregon his entire time, Emilio? Does that show
Looks
you?
like it. Yep. Strictly played right tackle too.
Okay. So you're seeing some of these right tackles are dropping, right? They're in the latter half of the draft. What you got for us, Tim? Help me out here.
I'm
man.
just looking at the chat like an idiot.
It's off the rails.
Respect Orange is his
Respect Artist had me in tears for a second there, and I got off track, and then I told Tim to look at it off track, and then the whole show off track. So.
I have never heard that before. I wish we could say it, but I ain't getting canceled.
We can't. Any Cinnabon lights for kicker talk? I'm gonna at least need a dozen if we're talking kicker talk. I mean, those things go. I mean, those things will go instantly.
All right.
Yeah, I'm more of a cheese curd guy, so Cinnabon lights for Emilio. I need the cheese curds though.
I'm just going to tell you right now, if anybody hearing my voice is in the Green Bay for the draft this year, you better get your cannolis early because we're going to cause a shortage. We're going to have so many cannolis at that house. That's not even funny, man. I'm going to have to wear a diaper on Saturday to the draft. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it will go. So
cannolis and curds, boy. Here we go.
That's it. That's it.
Cheese curds make my stomach hurt all the time, but I do eat them though.
We're not getting our deposit back. That's for sure.
No, we are not. We're gonna need that for the plumbing bill. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Jake Shavink cannoli shortage, LMAO. Hey, it is what it is, man. Wear a diaper, folks. Just like Times Square, New Year's, right? You know those folks really do that. Have y'all heard of that? They'll go out there and stand in line in Times Square for the, to watch the ball drop and all the festivities on New Year's. They'll stand out there all day long and they wear diapers, and that's crazy.
A hard pass. I mean, you can watch it on TV, no?
Gotta wash your hands, wash your butt, man. That's it. That's all.
Wash your hands, wash your diaper, man. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Throw that thing in the trash. I agree. J. Cole said that's dumb.
I was gonna say they're not changing that mid stance, right? They're not walking down to the McDonald's down the street using the quick change, run another one.
That's terrible.
Prince says, "Does this adult diaper make me look fat?" Clayton, April 2025.
Heard it from a fan right here.
Exactly. This show sucks bad. So it is what it is. Is there anything else you guys want to hit on? We thought about maybe starting. What are we at, the 107 mark? What if we jumped into linebacker a little bit? That'd be all right with you guys.
Let's do it. I love linebackers.
We're going to start with free agents. Okay, we kind of hit on it a little bit earlier, and then we'll come back to the draft because there's only 3 to hit on in free agency. Emilio, me and Tim kind of broke it down earlier. I want to get your take on it, man. See what you think. If we're getting a little too aggressive, wanting an older linebacker. But here are the guys that are at the top of the list according to PFF. Again, they don't have their entire free agent list completed yet. These are just all inside the top 50. Number 1 for them, he's 18th overall, Dre Greenlaw. Many people think he's a great linebacker. I think he is a really good linebacker. When I looked at the PFF grades, I was a little bit surprised, though. And maybe they screwed the pooch. That's definitely possible. But his PFF grade is starting in 22, 79.6, and he actually declined in 2023 to a 73.1. This year he had an 82, but he only played 34 snaps. So I'm interested to get your all's take on Dre Greenlaw because there's some people that's like, that's our dude right there, right? If you were to read the little bio on him here, it says Greenlaw is still working his way back from the Achilles injury he suffered in the Super Bowl last February, but assuming he can return to the same level we saw in 2023, he will likely see a lot of interest in free agency. He excels in coverage, having earned PFF coverage grades of 82.6 and 79.5 over the past 2 seasons. We going yay or nay on somebody like Greenlaw. At $6 million per, I think he's going to get a little more than that, me personally. But what do you guys think about that?
I mean, if their plan is to, replace him with Quay or Wilson, maybe. But, yeah, I think you're right. 6 per is a deal coming off an injury. I think he's probably going to be getting a little bit more, because he was able to at least come back this year and get his feet on the ground. I think that helps him out a lot for getting paid. But I don't know if I want to pay that just for a linebacker.
Yeah.
Right.
If yeah, I wouldn't reach for him at all.
Right.
But I wouldn't be mad if if we got him for the low, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, if you got him for $6 million per, like a 3-year deal, $6 million per, and it's really just a 2-year deal that you can get out of in the third year, I would be okay with taking a shot at it. I would. Yeah. Nick Bolton, I really don't understand this one. Maybe y'all can help me with it. PFF grades 77.3, 59.4, 65.4 over the last 3 years. They're projecting him at $15 million per. It says the Chiefs have consistently cycled through rookie contract players in the back seven of their defense and generally let them hit free agency, with Willie Gay Jr. the latest example at off-ball linebacker last offseason. That said, Gay was a part-time player, and Bolton has been a staple at the middle linebacker spot almost from day one. Bolton is a bit stiff when flipping his hips and can get picked on at times in coverage, but he is an absolute bruiser coming forward in the run game. Does that sound like somebody?
It sounds like Isaiah McDuffie.
It does, right? Like, so why in the world do they have him tagged at $40 million guaranteed, $60 million total on the contract? Is he just like an athletic freak, or what am I missing here? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, just the fact that the Chiefs defense has produced, but I think that's the front four there a little bit more than the backers. I think that's where, they're able to kind of cycle them in and out.
Let me see if I can find his RAS. Look at this, boys. His RAS, 4.62. What, does he have a family member working at PFF or something? Like, seriously, how does he – Tim, what am I missing, bro?
Shavink here says Nick Bolton tied 8th in the league in havoc plays this year, second among linebackers. Havoc plays are plays with a tackle for loss, sack, interception, PBU, or a forced fumble. So maybe that's it. High motor guy, havoc play kind of dude.
Makes sense. Yeah. I don't want to touch him, but
no, I'm good.
I was totally expecting to see an RAS through the roof. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the age is intriguing, though. Going to be 25. Right. Okay, but yeah, I'm with you.
This is the guy I'm after right here. If you're going to go sign somebody in free agency, we said it last year. We got laughed at, Tim. You and I did. Emilio, were you on this train too, or were you the one laughing at us? I can't remember.
I think Emilio was laughing.
You what?
I think I was against it, but I can't remember, honestly.
You said his name ain't Travis Glover. Get him the hell out of my
exactly it.
Yeah, so Bobby Wagner was the highest graded linebacker this year. And I'm telling you right now, he's one of, if not the very reason outside of Jaden Daniels that Washington has had so much success this year, man. Having him in the middle of that defense back with the old coach from Seattle, Dan Quinn, from way back in the day. He looks like freaking 28-year-old Bobby Wagner. It's insane, man.
If they keep winning, do you think Washington just signs him again?
Oh, they will. And he's going to be, let's say they make it to the conference championship or something somehow, some way, right? He's going to want to run it back with them, and I guarantee you Quinn's going to want him back. I don't blame him. So very, 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 it's highly unlikely he'll be available for that price of $5 million per, because you guys remember last year we were going, man, if he goes for the amount they had tagged on him, it's a good deal, right? You can do it. Yeah. He went way more than that last year.
Right.
As Jake Shavink said, this is how I feel. He said, I don't understand how he keeps doing this. LOL. It's just crazy, man.
He's like modern day Ray Lewis. You just keep thinking he's got none left in the tank, and then there's just more in there and more in there.
Yeah. And, that's the other thing, too, is like if he is losing a little bit of a step physically, he's just always gaining that half a step back with the way he plays the game and his awareness, So totally the opposite from what we've seen from Dre Campbell, obviously. So Donovan Schilling just says randomly, fire Joe Barry. Get that hashtag going again there. All right.
I'll put that name in my mouth right there.
We're at the 114 mark. We probably wouldn't have time to hit linebacker, the incoming rookie linebacker class, unless you guys want to do it rapid fire. We can do that too if y'all want to. What do you think?
I'll leave it up to the sombrero cheesehead king over here.
I'm all for it, but it's up to you. Your call, Clay. Is Mandy going to be screaming at you?
Mandy's always screaming at me, man. It doesn't matter if we're up here for 10 minutes or 2 hours. She's gonna. I'm a battered husband. I have no idea. I'm so battered. Let's do it. Let's hit the backers real quick. Let's go rapid fire. Tim, we might want to brush it back up tomorrow morning because we're going to go over them so quick here.
I'll be on the road in the morning, so unless this guy below me here on camera wants to get up.
Tim,
I could probably do that if I need to.
Listen, buddy, you lie to your friends, I'll lie to mine, but let's not lie to each other, okay? Let's get this right here.
We got a sneak preview of Emilio in the morning show.
Good morning.
Still going to
get up in time and the coffee takes too long and I'm sitting here without a cup of coffee. Oh,
that's the worst. That's the worst.
Yeah, let's hit the
Emilio's still going to have his Hans device on from his race car bed when he gets on the show. All right, let's do it. Linebacker real quick. Here are the incoming rookie linebackers. Jason Wild, where can I find the Patreon link? Conveniently in the upper right of the screen. Or you can just go to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access, or just search Packer Fan Total Access on Patreon's website. So,
or I'm pretty sure you can just go on Google and just say Packer Fan Total Access and type Patreon afterwards. It should bring you to that first link.
If you Google Packer Fan Total Access, the first thing that comes up, it says, "Don't listen to that show. It sucks."
Oh yeah, no, that's the first. We paid for that to be there.
Just Google "this show sucks." That's all you got to Google.
Remember what Michael Scott said with the watermark episode? You got to get ahead of it. You know what I mean? You got to get out in front of it. So
invite everybody in for a presser.
Yep, that's it. All right, number one on the list here, but 34th overall on PFF's big board is Jalen Walker out of Georgia. 6'2", 245 pounds. He's 20 years old. PFF grades 63, 72, and 73.
Let's go. Another Georgia linebacker, first round. Let's go. I'm just kidding. Don't come at me.
He's super dope in college football. Dude's like a 93 card in Ultimate Team, but he is like a right outside linebacker, and he's played split D-line 250 and in the box 300 this year. So he's a pass rusher.
Gotcha. Joe in the chat says if you Google Packer Total Access Patreon, it's just nonstop Taco Bell ads. Pisses me off because now I'm hungry again. There you go, man. There you go.
I've been talking about it.
Again, when you see him in the 34 spot here with Jalen Walker, he must be an athletic freak.
He is, yeah.
Okay. So did you name off his RAS? Do they have any kind of RAS already put together? They don't do that until they
negative.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but this year his pass rush grade was an 83.4, run defense 62.3, coverage grade of a 67.5.
I was trying to see if anybody had any kind of 40-yard dash on him up to this point. Exceptional athleticism. This is NFL Draft Buzz. Has run a blazing 4.50 40-yard dash. So obviously that puts him in the 94th percentile for linebacker. So Tyron Hopper type speed. What I was getting at is I'm not that impressed with Jalen Walker. I don't understand why he's quite that high. So next
I honestly see him more of an edge rusher than anything.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Next you got Jahad Campbell. 29.8, but it was only 12 snaps in 2022. Then he jumped to a 68.6. And then last year, an 80.8. He plays for Alabama, 6'3", 244.
Draft him. There's no way he can be worse than the last Campbell that played in the middle for us.
Impossible, right, Tim? Impossible. So
he played D-line 112 this year, box 637, pass rush grade of a 75.5, run defense 81 flat, coverage grade of a 78.7, missed tackle rate of a 5.9%. The Jalen Walker was like 12%, I think. And here's this for you, Clay. Coverage stops 30. He was first.
There you go.
Yeah.
Here's the guy.
It just kind of feels like, and I'm sure the combine's going to shuffle these out. Everybody goes crazy when they see a grown man run their underwear, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if Campbell ends up leapfrogging our boy from Georgia there, Jalen Walker. So we'll see. Next, you got Carson Schweisinger. Nailed it. Crushed it. Only 84 snaps in 2024, 63.7 grade. Only 17 snaps in 2023 with a 54.9. And then this year, 80.2 with 705 snaps. 6'2", 225 out of UCLA. Doesn't look special on the surface here for me. Got anything on him, Amelia.
Looks like a box defender, 620, fluttered in at D-line and slot. Pass rush grade of a 90 flat. Run defense, 74.7. Coverage grade of a 73.1 and a 7.6% missed tackle rate.
Gotcha. So far, Bama boy is the best tackler, right?
Bama, yeah, I would say Bama, then UCLA after him so far.
Got it. Now let's get into Chris Paul Jr. out of Ole Miss. And I'm telling
Here's
you,
the guy.
Lane Kiffin churning them. He's got prospects that are, I mean, every one of them are intriguing. You got them at just about every position. It's wild. Chris Paul Jr., 22 years old, 6'1", 235 pounds, PFF grade 76, 59, and then this year an 87.2. What do you got on him?
I think this is your boy right here. Box defender, 590. Pretty much played box all of his years. Pass rush grade of an 83.9. Run defense of an 84.6. Coverage grade 78.1. Missed tackle rate of a 4.5%. That's the best so far. His coverage stops were 19th, tied for 15th. So can run. I mean, he had some good games. He had one bad game. If you want to watch his worst game, go watch the Florida tapes, 39.3. Besides that, he's 60s, 70s, 80s.
Got it. I'm looking for a 40-yard dash, and the first number I seen was 4.89. I'm like, ooh, that's bad. But they're talking about an offensive lineman, I believe, that plays for Tulsa. To the best of my knowledge, there is no information on the intrawebs on
Not
Chris
bad.
Paul.
I think he was an 89 or a 90 card earlier in the year. Played middle linebacker for me for a long time. But, yeah, good. Can get sideline to sideline, I would say.
So is he Chris Paul, the basketball player's son? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Ain't there a basketball player named Chris Paul?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is it his son? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I'm looking. Chris Paul Sr.
Old enough to have a 23-year-old son? Hold on a minute. Is he that old? Because if he's that old, then I'm old.
Tim, they be having kids when they're 13 now, man. They get started early. You know what I'm saying? They ain't as innocent as we were when we were young. Wink, wink. You know what I mean? His nickname's Pooh. There you go.
I don't want to pat you on the butt and you poop in my hand. So
pat you on the butt and poo in my hand.
Great drop.
There it is. All right. So, Chris Paul Jr. definitely got my eyes on him for sure, man. That 87.2. If he hadn't had that 76.2 in 2022, I'd go, a little too inconsistent when you get 2 of the 3 years, grading out pretty darn well, especially at that time he would have been a freshman, right, with that 76.2 because he's just a junior. So, yeah, pretty impressive. Last one, Jeffrey Bassa. All right. 6'2", 235, PFF grades 45, 76, and 73. Pretty solid across the board. He's a senior. What you got on him, Emilio? We'll wrap
thick.
That he is played basically box, but can go D-line slot. Pass rush grade was a 67.1, run defense 72.1, and a coverage grade of 70.2. Missed tackle rate of a 9.6%. And he had 7 coverage stops, tied for like 370th. So doesn't seem like coverage is his go-to. But I'd like to watch a couple clips of him, see if he comes downhill. He probably comes downhill with the Thunder.
Got it. Tim, anything you want to add to the backers here, big dog? Anything at all?
Can you scroll back up?
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like Campbell and Paul right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think out of what we looked at.
That's what I've got marked too, Tim. I've got Jahad Campbell, 80.8 out of Bama, and I've got Chris Paul Jr., 87.2 out of Ole Miss. Those are definitely my 2 favorite linebackers in this incoming rookie class for sure. So if we did a quick recap, and we'll wrap up here, offensive tackle-wise, in free agency, Alaric Jackson is the only one I would really be interested in for the right price. I want to specify that. In terms of rookies coming in, you got Armand Mimbo, 90.5 out of Missouri. You got Wyatt Malum out of West Virginia, 91.1. Gray Zabel out of North Dakota State University, very versatile, 90.4. And then we've got Charles Grant out of William and Mary at a 90.1. Got to keep in mind that's a smaller school. He'll probably drop in the draft, I'm sure. And then when it comes to backers, I'd be okay with Dre Greenlaw or Bobby Wagner, seeing that we're probably not going to have both Isaiah McDuffie and Eric Wilson back. I would like to see Eric Wilson back. We'll see how that shakes out. And then in terms of rookie linebackers in the top 100, I like Jahad Campbell out of Bama at 80.8. And then, of course, Chris Paul Jr. out of Ole Miss with an 87.2. So that's kind of how I see that. Emilio, anything you want to add to that? Those prospects there, man.
I think that's a great list there to start with in the top 100. Definitely want to see Campbell. Honestly, I feel like I just kind of need to know what their numbers are. I feel like, I've watched definitely a few of the games just to see if that was a number that was popping off to me. But I wouldn't be opposed to maybe if it's not in the first 100, we might be looking at another backer just to bring in, especially if, Wilson and Duffy don't come back. We're going to have to keep refilling it. It's all about figuring out where you're deep. We had an injury at linebacker this year. We had an injury at corner. I feel like we got to kind of pay attention to those positions where we had an injury, went down to something that we didn't like, and try to, bolster that area and add to it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, there you go. Again, just kind of diving into some of the prospects. This is the first wave of information we're going to be dropping like this. Got the draft board started. We're 50 prospects in. Nowhere near finished with those 50 prospects, but the database is starting to come together. Really, really excited about that. Tim, Emilio, thank y'all for your time. Appreciate you.
Always.
Again, guys, go to Taco Bell, order this online, have it delivered right to your front door. In the promo code, put PTA. It'll get you $0.
Tell them you want the 12-pack, not the 2-pack.
Exactly. Tell them you want the 12-pack, not the 2-pack. You got it.
We got one final entry, too. We were doing the central casting of the actors with the NFL. You pulled that up at the top of the show. I thought that was great. They forgot about one, though, obviously.
God, I love it, dude. It was Dick that did that, right?
Yes.
I think I've got his name saved there so we could give him credit. Yeah. Was it Dick Paliak or something like that? Am I thinking of it?
Palanik? Yeah.
I love our listeners, dude. They're awesome. I'm telling you. And I had several people reach out. I'm going to get the Patreon group tomorrow. And also, who was it that messaged me earlier? I know Trucker John was messaging me. I got to respond back to him. Trucker John said Bob Uecker was his dad's cousin. Kind of cool.
Wow.
So really, it's funny you say that too, Trucker John, because the manager in Major League, Lou, what was his name? Lou Brown? Was that his name? So the White Walls, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know. I got to get on the other line with White Walls. I'll have to get back.
The guy who sounded like he drank a bucket of gravel for breakfast. Yeah.
His brother was actually, I'm pretty sure it was his brother that was married to my aunt. His brother's name was, or is either his brother or his cousin's name was Bob. He was a truck driver. One of the coolest cats I ever met in my life, man. I'm like, sure hope Aunt Bonita settles down with him. He's cool. Of course, Bonita's a Bailey. She's never going to settle down. So I think I'm the only one in the family that did. But anyway, thanks to everybody. We're getting names here too. Joseph says, Clay, check out Stutzman, linebacker from Oklahoma. We'll do that, man.
He had a 94 overall card season 3. Dude was nice.
Trying to go down here. You know what? Since he requested it real quick, there he is. 6'4", 241. He's got that pro size. PFF grade 58, 71, 76. Steady incline there. And and ability, good stuff there.
Pass rush grade of a 68.8. Run defense 90.9. Coverage grade 44.9.
Oh, Joseph.
Missed tackle rate 12.2. 12.2%. With only 6 coverage stops. Clearly coverage is not the go-to for him. But again, let's watch some tape.
Yeah, definitely. Joseph says, was in the TB drive-through, Taco Bell drive-through during the show, and my daughter got the 2-pack. Let's go. So PTA sent you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they charged him double.
And Tim's still mad about it because TB is getting way too much airtime.
The show.
Wait, so Joseph, how are they? I mean, with their fire, right?
I'm going to bed, Emilio. I don't need to hear these reviews tonight.
Okay, well, before we go to bed, let's thank Jason Y, ban him again, and let's get out of here.
Thank you, Jason. We're going to ban you real quick. We'll add you back in the morning. All right, buddy. We appreciate the super chat. Everybody have a great evening. We may do a show in the morning. Tim's going to be on the road. Emilio, you going to wake up or not? That's what I need to know.
Yeah, I can do it. Yeah.
All right, we're doing a morning show. We'll do it live. All right.
We'll do it live.
Some of y'all got that. Some of you didn't. It's okay.
And we go.
Bye, guys.